Nice, maybe some, but none like you. We'll be understood, cause you're the truth. Give me a few more of the blue.
Good morning.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Saturday.
Yes. All right, we'll give you guys just a second.
I'll give you a second, everybody. Get on.
Get your coffee.
Get your coffee. Pour everything up.
Ours is Big B today.
Yeah, good old local Big B.
We couldn't find our coffee pot.
Yeah, from last night.
From last night.
We have our organic French roast, which is great. They've always got it there, so
yeah,
you grab it regularly.
That's right. Kind of a bummer of a day out.
Yeah, I might not be able to do some of that work that we have planned in the backyard, but that's okay.
Yeah. It's not really okay, but
it's not really okay.
We do what we gotta do.
We gotta do what we gotta do. Yep.
All right.
Okay. Well, first and foremost, we just want to say thanks for last night. It was a great event we had at Williamson Sport and Spine, our 5th year anniversary. We had lots of people come through. People put their name in the drawing, which we will announce all those winners at the end of today's talk. So make sure you guys tune in and watch all the way to the end, because we will give away our ear massages, our hypersphere, our bulletproof coffee package, everything. So we're going to give that away at the end. We'll just draw right out of the box right here on the video, and we'll be good. So
yes, we're excited.
The 5th year celebration was fantastic. So everyone that came out, we really appreciate it. It was fun talking with everybody in a little more casual atmosphere than in the office. So it was really nice.
Yeah, that was awesome. Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
We really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is our last coffee talk
of this 4-part series. We'll start again soon.
We will do it again.
Yeah.
But we'll let you know when that's coming up. We're launching a new Williamston Sport and Spine website, which will be coming soon, which will be much more mobile friendly. Yay! For everybody that's been having trouble scheduling online. We've got lots of fun updates and things coming.
Use your phone. It's going to be a lot better.
So it'll be much better. But today we're going to talk about a subject that's so important. This is like one of those things for me that I could talk forever, but I'm not going to. I'm going to stay on. Stay on track.
This is Dr. S is here. Big issue.
This is a big thing, guys. So one of the things that is affecting people just so heavily, everybody is being affected by this, and we're having so many health issues as a result, and it's your hormones.
Yeah.
Your hormones are such a big deal, and they play such a huge factor in your overall health. They have to be balanced, and it can be a very tricky thing to balance them, but they need to be balanced for overall health. It is extremely important. So you want to tell people real quick what hormones are?
Well, hormones are chemical messengers. They basically run the function, the physiology of your body from organ to tissue. So they move everything. They make every reaction, every chemical reaction to control the way your body functions, from your glands to everything. Okay, so if you think about it, we'll tie this in at the end, but our body is a system. It works together for everything. We don't isolate. We can't pick and choose. We can't say, okay, we're only working on this part of our health. Our body regulates everything at once.
That's what's interesting. Your hormones all talk. They are all interconnected, and they communicate with each other on a daily basis, and they go to every organ, every tissue. They're a very important part of your health. They're extremely critical to making sure that they are in balance, to really honestly feeling very good. So we want to talk about, we said originally, grab your husbands, grab your spouse, because men and women obviously have hormones that have to be balanced to really feel well. So we're going to be talking about very specifically progesterone, estrogen, testosterone, and even DHEA. Those are just a few that are the bigger ones.
Major players that affect health negative, where we kind of find those negative pathways.
Yes, and they've got to be in check.
Yeah. So men, I want to just give a little bit of a warning to you right now. So, men and women, the physiology is different, okay? Women, they have drastic changes through their hormone response from an early age on throughout their whole life, a little bit different than men. Men, it's a little bit more of a gradual progression to those negative pathways, where women, since there's so many drastic, sharp increases and decreases, there's more room for error. So So a lot of women and your wives, and you're moody, you can't sleep, you're gaining weight, things are just not going in the right direction, and your husband doesn't understand. And you're like, I don't understand why I feel this way, or I don't feel quite right, and the doctors they're not really helping me. It's tough to diagnose.
Yeah.
Men, you need to understand the frustration, the debilitating feeling. It's real, okay? It is a major problem. It's hard to diagnose. It's hard to treat. It's hard to get under control. They can't just do what you do, like the men, like, oh, just exercise, eat a little bit better,
Right.
It's not that simple, okay? It is a problem, and it's more of a problem that women suffer with. Men can have issues as well, and they do, but we need to understand, you need to listen, you need to understand that it really does take a team to kind of balance this whole thing out, because it's a struggle, and it's tough, and we don't always get the right answers along the way, and it's not a simple fix.
That's right. That's true. Very, very true. So one of the things, though, that's a big push right now, well, it's been for a long time, is cholesterol. Everybody wants to lower their cholesterol, but one of the problems is we need cholesterol in order to make hormones. It's a precursor to all of your hormones, so you've got to have it.
Yeah.
A lot of people that are on medications,
statins, things like that, things that lower your, blood cholesterol, which, that's a subject for a whole nother day. We kind of talked about that in some of our old videos. But if you're eating foods that aren't going to produce cholesterol, because if you're staying away from eggs and things like that, which we obviously, do not promote. We want whole foods. We want you to eat the whole egg. We want you to eat the yolk.
Yeah.
We need cholesterol in our body to produce hormones properly. You need functional cholesterol in your body. And if you are drastically using tons of measures to reduce that cholesterol without having an inflammatory reason to do so, you're not going to produce hormones properly.
Right, so as you suppress cholesterol, you suppress hormones. So you have to be very careful with that, because you might be thinking, oh, my cholesterol is getting under control, but now you have these crazy hormones that are just kind of all over the board. So
you need it in the body.
You got to have it.
Yeah.
So, okay, a couple of things that you may be experiencing that could be a result of hormones. You might be like, well, how does this really relate to me? Well, you could be having difficulty sleeping. That's a big complaint that a lot of people say. I mean, that's just a huge thing.
That's number one,
people don't
usually.
Sleep well.
Yeah.
It could be the result of low melatonin. Your body, maybe you can fall asleep, but you can't stay asleep. You could have low progesterone, which is making it difficult. Your cortisol could be all over the place. Those are just a few things that, once again, it could definitely be a result of your hormones.
Yeah.
You could have a lack of a sex drive. Both men and women are supposed to have one.
Right.
They don't like to talk about it all the time, but you're supposed to have the proper chemicals that make this all function properly. In women, if that's a problem, it could be the result of low testosterone or even low DHEA, where you're just not making it properly.
Yeah.
You can get these things under control. One of the things with men that we tend to see, this is not everybody, so I'm not trying to make like a snap judgment, but men in general, they can have problems with testosterone as a result of drinking too much alcohol.
We're beer drinkers, men.
That
Okay.
seems to be a problem.
It's a problem.
Among men. So what happens is men have an enzyme in belly fat to convert testosterone into estrogen. So as you're drinking, you're putting on more belly fat and you're creating more and more estrogen, which is not good for you.
Yeah.
That can lead to,
The beer
erectile
belly is
dysfunction
not
and-
a symbol of pride, okay? We need to get rid of those.
It's really
as
an
it leads to other
estrogen belly,
problems.
men.
Yeah, we got to get rid of it.
That's not so great. Thyroid issues. A lot of people have issues with thyroid that can you have to understand how the thyroid is interconnected as well. As the thyroid goes down and you have, hypothyroidism, everything in the body goes down. That means the production of hormones goes down. A lot of people that have hypothyroidism have constipation because the gut motility also goes down. So you have to remember that. You might say, oh, I've got hypothyroidism. Well, you might have that, but then you might have all of these other things as well. Goodbye, Dad Bod.
Yeah,
That's right.
That's right.
I like that. That's right. So it affects everything. It affects the hormone production with the thyroid. They're all completely intertwined.
Right.
So, yeah, it's kind of a big deal. If you're gaining weight...
That's a big one.
That's a big problem. A lot of women will say, I'm gaining weight. I don't understand what's happening. Well, as your estrogen goes down, this is a big problem for women that are going through menopause. You tend to gain somewhere between 11 and 18. That's just kind of like an average of what women will gain as they're going through menopause. As your body is lowering, or you're not producing as much estrogen, your body will try to compensate for that and wants to produce more. So what it will do is it will lay down belly fat, or just fat in general, because you can produce estrogen in fat tissue. So it's doing it, for a purpose. It's trying to give you more estrogen, and you're like, what is happening? Like, I'm eating healthy, I cannot lose weight. It's trying.
I'm exercising.
Yes, it's trying to raise that for you. It's doing what it's supposed to do. It's just you don't like the results, but it wants to raise it.
Yeah.
So that can be a problem. If you don't ovulate monthly, if you don't know, that can be a problem for your progesterone, because you're never rising with your progesterone. So maybe you're extremely moody and you're not, you don't feel well, and
you're not getting that calm happiness from that surge of progesterone
is your
at the
warming hormone. It's a happy hormone. You need that surge.
Yeah.
So without that, you might not be feeling well, and might be a little more moody.
Right.
So you have to understand that everything that we do, we talk about lifestyle factors and how important they are. They directly impact your hormones. They're extremely important. One other thing, men, if you can't build muscle, if you're having trouble building lean muscle, there can be a problem with testosterone. There's things you can do to fix that. I just wanted to say that because I know that's been a problem with some certain people.
If you're working out, you're lifting, men sometimes have the same issue where maybe you're not trying to lose weight. You can lose weight fast, but you can't build muscle. You need that testosterone to do that. You need the appropriate amounts of different forms of testosterone for that to happen, whether it's free, total, or whatever. So you have to kind of have that balanced as well.
Sleep is critical, you guys. You've got to get sleep, and a lot of people say, oh my word, these are just like simple things. They are kind of simple, but a lot of people, they have a lot of trouble sleeping, but you have got to work and focus on that, because as you sleep, your body releases growth hormone. Growth hormone goes in and it cleans. It helps to balance and clean everything out.
Goes through your body and scrubs all that stuff out.
Exactly.
One of the docs that we like to listen to, she likes to call it like scrubbing bubbles. Like it goes through and just kind of cleans everything out in the body.
It's pretty amazing. So if you're not sleeping, you're not getting cleaned out. You're not getting that surge. You really need to eat healthy. We talk about balancing your blood sugar all the time. We're like a broken record. But your cortisol is what comes in, and it has to balance out glucose. So just imagine if you have a lot of glucose, you're eating a lot of sugar, high sugar diet, your cortisol is following it. It's going up and then it's going down. As you eat pancakes in the morning, the cortisol comes in to try to balance it and push it down, and then you're getting these
and at night, if you're eating late
and
at night, so then you never downregulate that cortisol and you never upregulate your melatonin. So that's a part of your sleep cycle that's just going to get out of whack. So we kind of talked about that on some of our past posts when we talked about sleep. So go back and look at that. But that's important. We want to regulate our cortisol production as well and make sure that we're not having crazy spikes with that, not including our insulin and all those other things that are factors and hormones as well.
Exactly. So, that's a big deal. Your diet is huge. We always come back to that.
Yeah.
A few things for women, some unwanted symptoms like acne along the jawline, facial hair, if you're very irritable. Well, these can be a symptom of high androgens. So here's the thing. While we have hormones, we also have hormone metabolites. It's kind of, the body's detox pathways. And there's a lot of different pathways that your body can go down. You have the alpha and the beta pathway for your testosterone. And we like to know which way your hormones are going down, and the great thing is we can see that. There are tests out there. We can talk about one very specifically that we like to promote, and we want to try to encourage you guys to do this test because it can make your lives a lot easier.
It's a new test, and it really works well, and it really gives you a clear picture on the pathway of your hormones, if it's happening and if it's going in the right direction. So
right now we have saliva and blood testing for hormones, and it's giving you your total amounts, which is really important to still know your total amounts. But for example, if you say, yes, I have really, I've got great estrogen, I'm producing enough of it, well, it's good to know which way are your metabolites going down? Like, are you getting rid of them? We need to know the pathways, because there are certain pathways that are very cancerous and some that are proliferative that can A lot of proliferation just means that your body is making more tissue than we
growth patterns, unwanted growth
that we don't want. So there's some unwanted proliferation like fibroids, endometriosis, things like that. There's other pathways like the 4OH pathway, which is cancer risk. So prostate cancer, breast cancer, these are very high risk. So it's good to know which pathways you're going down, and there are things that we can do to promote them going down the proper pathway. So that's why we like to tell you to get tested and to see people to do things, because there are some simple fixes.
Right.
For a lot of these things, we can give you certain supplements that will promote you to go down this pathway and kind of block you from going down the other pathway, and will make you feel a whole lot better.
A whole lot better.
You know, like there's simple fixes. Like, for example, we eat a ton of broccoli sprouts. Well, I very specifically eat a lot of broccoli sprouts because I'm always very concerned about making sure that I'm eliminating estrogen. I don't want to become estrogen dominant. If you've got like PMS, breast tenderness, a lot of things like that, irritability, you might be estrogen dominant. And that just means you're not eliminating the estrogen properly. So sulforaphane, which is very high in broccoli sprouts, is great to promote that detoxification, to get that estrogen out of the body. So there are things you can do. Cruciferous vegetables are fabulous.
My new favorite vegetable, well, not my new favorite because I've been eating it a long, long time, but arugula, very cruciferous.
Cruciferous, I got you.
Yeah, it's early. Yeah, we had a party last night, so I throw it on everything. A handful on everything. It doesn't matter, and I just like it. I mean, it's just whatever vegetables are already there. It doesn't matter. I just throw more arugula on there, and
if men are not eliminating estrogen, you might be thinking like, "Oh, this is for my wife." You can have erectile dysfunction. You got to get rid of it too.
Yeah.
Men. So you eat a lot of broccoli sprouts just to make sure that all of that excess. You don't want these extra hormones in your body. There's just no need for them.
Yeah.
We need to get rid of the ones that we're done with. So that's important. High fiber. We always say fiber.
Fiber is king.
Yes.
You
need that because you need the gut motility.
Which is why you have to eat vegetables.
You need to get rid of those packaged up hormones and get them out. So you've got to eat. So what does that mean? We've really just come full circle.
So we've kind of came full circle over these last 4 weeks. How everything is connected. Your body is a whole health system. Hormones regulate everything. Lifestyle matters. Stress, diet, and exercise all contribute to your hormone production. The information that comes into your body is the only way your body has information to regulate itself. So your environment, the things that you put into your body, to your own personal environment, your own ecosystem inside your body, it matters. I say this a lot, but it matters. Now, you cannot cure all disease and all illness and all problems with diet and exercise. But if you don't change your lifestyle, diet, and exercise, you will never solve any problem that you have. Okay, so while meds can help and they are needed, you also have to balance those lifestyle issues, or you'll never get the full potential, never get anything under control, you'll never get anything where you want it. It will always just be Band-Aid on top of Band-Aid, and you'll go down bad roads where you have to add med over med. So when you get that perfect combination, because some issues, autoimmune issues, things like that never go away, you do have to medicate, you do have to be under other medicines for those types of issues. You still have to control that lifestyle. You still have to control that diet. You still have to do a lower carb. You can't just be pounding processed food, higher sugars, higher carbs, because our hormones are very sensitive to those things.
Yeah.
So we want to make it very clear that, this isn't going to cure everything, just diet and exercise alone, but you won't solve anything unless you finally get these things under control.
Yes, it's a big deal. You have to do that. You can't just focus on meds. And here's the thing. I am not anti-hormone replacement. I am not
sometimes we need it.
Bioidentical, certain things. You have to do it. But I am anti doing those without also doing diet and exercise. You have to do them all together.
Cranberry juice affect the thyroid producing hormones. Cranberry juice has some major benefits, but still have to do it in moderation. What would be best?
Sugar.
If you really balance your blood sugar properly with your diet by really trying to get your sulfur issues, your sulfation under control, like we talked about with the broccoli sprouts, things like that, and there's other foods that you can do, or maybe even you have to do some some supplementation or things like that to influence that. That is better. But you do have to be careful with just copious amounts of juice.
Juice in general. I don't really recommend ever.
But cranberry juice does have some of those benefits, so you can kind of supplement that in. But
From time to time.
we would rather you go the route of
Whole foods.
Whole foods.
Yes, definitely. We know this from experience because one of my focuses, I lost my mother to breast cancer. So for me, I have always been now just like maybe hyper focused on making sure I've had symptoms of estrogen dominance as well. So for me, getting rid of estrogen and making sure that my hormones are balanced is like top priority. And when we stopped focusing on our weight and let's get rid of, let's diet, and we just had like a change of heart basically and said, we're going to focus on our hormones and we are going to focus on feeling good and making sure that, I don't get the breast tenderness with my cycle and I don't have PMS. Those are all just symptoms that were telling me that something is not right. So we started really focusing on what we were eating and making sure that I was pushing things down the right pathway, and him as well, making sure he was pushing things down the right pathway. And we naturally just lost weight.
Right.
Our bodies just kind of naturally leveled off. We incorporated high intensity interval training to make sure that we both had the proper amount of testosterone, raising it to healthy levels. And if you can kind of take it off of like I'm just doing it for losing weight and put it on overall health, things become a lot easier.
It becomes more clear because not everybody needs to lose weight, but you still need to eat healthy. It's not a singular pathway to, eating healthy only has to do with weight balance. Eating healthy only has to do with heart disease and diabetes. Eating healthy only has to do with this. It does. It's not. It's hormones. It's everything. Everything you put in, that's the information your body has to now live its life, to produce, to function, to do everything. So it matters. It matters for everything. And a lot of times these things go haywire at the same time. So it's not like you just get a little bit of facial hair in the wrong spot, or it's not that you just have mood swings. It all comes at once. It's like I have weight gain, mood swings. It's a disaster all at once. It's been building. You didn't really see it coming, and then all of a sudden you hit the wall, and you're like, "What happened to me? I don't feel well at all. I'm miserable every day." It's a long struggle to recovery because it takes a while for that to build up,
to balance.
And there's details and there's things that will change. Not everybody's the same. You can't just follow one thread and this guy did this and that was good for them. You really have to do the tests. You really have to see your specific route. That's why it's good to have your doctors work with you because you have to be guided along the way, and it changes over time.
It does change. I can tell you it changes, and you can feel great, and things can level off, and it's more fun, right?
Yeah.
When I'm in balance.
It's more fun when she's balanced, and it's more fun when I'm balanced.
That's true.
Okay,
That's true.
That's how you live your optimal life. But
one more thing before we get into that. How do you test it? The Dutch test is
the Dutch
test that we're talking
yes.
about. DUTCH. It is dried urine testing for comprehensive hormones. That's what that stands for. Dutch.
Yeah. It's not a DNA test.
No. It is for testing all of your hormones and all of your metabolites. Depending on what you've going on, there are different tests within the Dutch test that we can do. That is something that we do. I like to order the Dutch test. Tons and tons of information. I absolutely love it.
I do it.
You can order it on your own, but good luck understanding the results. They're extremely
It's a little bit complicated. Yeah.
So if you can find somebody that fully understands it, that works with it, and can really kind of give you the results, which I can do.
Yeah.
I love hormones. I think it's just super needed, you guys. It's something that just does not get talked about enough, and it's a big problem.
Okay.
Anyways, we've got that.
Well, we talked about hormones. We kind of beat it in. I know it's a lot of complicated stuff, but if you want Doc here to help you out with that, come on down to the office, give us a call, shoot us an email, message, all that good stuff. We're so happy you guys tuned in today. Make sure you like our page. Make sure you like today's video. But now we're going to get to the winners from last night.
Thing, we started an Instagram page where we're going to be...
Oh, a new Instagram page,
So it's just Drs. Kyle and Krystal. You can go follow that. We're going to be sharing all kinds of recipes, lifestyle tips, and just health tips in general, nutrition, all kinds of information. So make sure that you guys go over there and like that page as well, because we'll be sharing a lot more of kind of like personal, daily, how-to
recipes, things we're cooking that day, all that fun stuff, so you can kind of see those pictures in real time.
That way.
So definitely follow us on Instagram as well.
Now we can get to the good stuff.
Now let's get to the prizes from last night. I know everyone's like, hey, I want to know who won.
Congrats, and
Congrats.
Thank you guys so much for coming. And celebrating with us. We just feel super blessed. So thank you. Have a wonderful Saturday.
Yeah, have a great Saturday.
And we will be
and we'll
back with
see you
Coffee in the
soon
Cave
with a new
soon.
series.
Yes.
Bye.